London's top attractions for tourists.
With an 8 million person population, London is one of the world's major cities and is noisy, lively, and cosmopolitan. It continues to rank among the most visited cities in the world, and is a premier centre for culture, fashion, finance, politics, and trade. It only seems sense that London has a wide variety of things to do, given that it is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. Travelling around is simple, thanks to one of the largest subway systems in the world, the renowned London Underground, commonly known as the Tube. In the public squares, marketplaces, and performing arts venues of the city. London is also home to a diverse culture. Many of London's public parks are ideal gathering places for residents and visitors alike, and offer quick access to many of the city's most well-known tourist destinations, including Buckingham Palace.
Piccadilly Circus.
Piccadilly Circus is a well-known square that is covered in flashing signs and dazzling lights. The centre of London's arts and entertainment district is Piccadilly Circus, which served as a commercial centre in the 17th century. There are many theatres and nightclubs there, but none are more well-known than the famed Criterion Theatre. The Statue of Eros is a well-liked gathering place for locals inside the circus and offers quick access to upscale stores, museums, and the Trocadero houses.
National Portrait Gallery.
The National Portrait Gallery in London became the first gallery of its kind in the entire globe when its doors first opened. The collection, which is ever expanding, includes pictures of important individuals in British history. The gallery in St. Martin's Place is next to the National Gallery and features sculptures and caricatures as well. The iconic Chandos picture of William Shakespeare is one of the most well-known portraits to be found in London. The National Portrait Gallery's entryway features 3 busts in addition to the interior experience. They stand in for the gallery's founders, who founded it in 1856.
Wallace Collection.
Speaking of stunning art, visiting the Wallace Collection is among the top 3 things to do in London. Sir Richard Wallace's remarkable art collection is on display in the old home in Manchester Square. After his passing, his wife gave Britain the artwork, and the gallery debuted in 1897. The artwork is from the 15th through the 19th century, with a focus on French art from the 1700s. There are 25 sections in the gallery, which includes features notable works by old masters, as well as period furniture and armours.
Portobello Road Market.
The Portobello Road Market, a well-known market in the Notting Hill neighbourhood, is open every day of the week. The market has been an integral element of London's community life since the 1500s. In the beginning, Portobello Farms Market was modest. In the 19th century, the open hayfields and orchards were replaced by a thriving community. The market is becoming a popular destination for vintage and used clothing. There are more than 1,000 local sellers in this market, which is the biggest in the UK. Despite being open every day, Saturday is the ideal day to visit, because every stall is open.
St. James Park.
St. James's Park is one of the most beautiful parks in the city, and one of London's 8 royal parks. The park is renowned for having the Clarence House, Whitehall, and Buckingham Palace as its iconic settings. Beyond the well-known structures is a well-kept park, with vibrant flower beds prepared for formal occasions. At St. James's Park, it's common to show up with a picnic basket and blanket. Enjoy the pelicans that swoop through the vast space as you sit back and unwind. The pelicans, who were formerly a gift from Russia, have been residing in St. James's Park for approximately 400 years.
Covent Garden.
Following the Portobello Road Market, Covent Garden has a second well-liked market. There are a ton of trendy restaurants and boutique shops in the vast area. while you may catch live music and street performers on the crowded streets of Seven Dials, Neal's Yard, and Central Square. The Covent Garden Market is the ideal location to find a treasured memento to remember your time spent seeing London. Along with the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden also boasts the London Transport Museum, which houses the renowned double-decker bus.
Greenwich Park.
Some of the nicest views in London may be seen in Greenwich Park, which overlooks the River Thames. Between immaculate modern gardens are an impressive collection of 17th-century landscaping in the park. With origins in the Roman era, the park has been there for more than 500 years. The park offers a lot of activities for both young and old guests. From the lovely rose garden, which blossoms magnificently in the summer, to the playground in Greenwich Park, where kids may let off some steam. Visit the Pavilion Cafe, which dates back to 1906, for lunch.
Camden Market.
Camden is a varied community, and the Camden Market exhibits the wide range of characters found there. A suitable assortment of vintage apparel vendors may be found at the diverse neighborhood market, with local artwork and handmade items. But what should encourage you to go is the food in Camden Market. The market is a gourmet delight with street food, international cuisine, and one of the greatest vegan bakeries in London.
Imperial War Museum.
The Imperial War Museum does a fantastic job of depicting the life-changing experiences of those who had their lives torn apart by these awful events, with a concentration on international combat, from the First World War to the current day. You can't help but be moved by the stories presented at this top-tier war museum. The museum, which was built during World War I, will make you reconsider your worldview. You might wonder how you would respond if you were a person living in that era, with 6 levels crammed with tales of regular people.
Tate Britain.
2 renowned galleries have been created from what was once known as the Tate Gallery in the late 19th century. Tate Modern and Tate Britain are now located on opposite banks of the Thames, united by the spectacular Millennium Bridge. The most well-known museum is Tate Britain, which holds the primary collection of important British art. The collection is well known worldwide, and provides a fantastic experience for everyone, not just art enthusiasts. After exploring Tate Britain, simply cross the river to Tate Modern, and repeat the experience.
Hyde Park and Kensington Gardens.
Hyde Park, London's largest urban park, is a popular destination for both tourists and residents. The park has been a well-liked gathering area for picnics, festivals, or just lounging under the trees since it first opened in 1635. A man-made lake in Hyde Park is a popular summertime destination for swimming and boating. The expansive park's former Kensington Gardens have been divided into a segment with public art, architecture, and lovely gardens. Serpentine Galleries, ancient Kensington Palace, and Albert Memorial are just a few highlights.
Madame Tussauds.
At the interactive wax museum Madame Tussauds, which features more than 190 lifelike wax figures on exhibit, see famous faces. On Marylebone Road in Marylebone, northwest London, you can find Madame Tussauds. Get closer than ever to the world's most well-known figures as you stroll amid royalty, attend parties with A-listers, and more. To complete your tour to Madame Tussauds, give yourself 1.5 to 2 hours.
Borough Market.
The best food market in London is the Old Borough Market, since it first opened in the middle of the 18th century. Londoners have continued to frequent the market for its fresh produce and top-notch cuisine. The Borough Market is all about living in the present, unlike some markets that celebrate the past. The numerous inventive dishes served there combined with the emphasis on sustainability and foreign cuisine, are the best illustration of this. The era, when the market was only used for simple wholesale, has long since passed. In addition, the Borough Market hosts a number of unique festivals and events.
National History Museum.
The huge National History Museum in London is large enough for visitors to comfortably spend a full afternoon visiting. Many of the original exhibits are still on display, in the architectural wonder, which first opened in 1754. The premier research facility, that contains the world-class attraction, has a fantastic collection spanning paleontology, botany, zoology, and more. All up, the Natural History Museum is home to about 80 million artifacts, from dinosaur skeletons to specimens acquired by the one and only Charles Darwin. Considering that it's one of the most popular tourist destinations in London, go there early to avoid the lines, and have more time to explore the magnificent museum.
Victoria and Albert Museum.
The Victoria and Albert Museum, also referred to as the V&A, is a building on Exhibition Road that houses several museums. The V&A is an excellent place to go, along with the Natural History Museum and the Science Museum. There are 145 galleries in the museum that are available for your exploration. It will be challenging to finish the intimidating number, but it's worth a try. You'll find artwork and artifacts inside that span 5,000 years of history. Period clothes, jewelry, sculptures, and prints are all on show, so it's not simply art. All things are divided into various geological regions. With so many options, pick the one you like the best, and do a thorough exploration.
Warner Brothers Studio, London.
One of the best family-friendly activities in London is a tour of the Warner Brothers studios. Particularly for Harry Potter lovers, who will have the opportunity to tour the Wizarding World, the trip will be unforgettable. Fans of the blockbuster books and films will be able to visit real-life filming locations. These include exploring the fabled Diagon Alley, exploring the Forbidden Forest, or taking a seat in Hogwarts' Great Hall. Nothing, however, compares to the opportunity to charge at Platform 9 and 3/4S entry. Here, you may view the train, where numerous movie sequences were shot.
National Gallery.
One of the best art museums in the world, along with the National Portrait Gallery, is located in London. The enormous span of the art collection on show, from the 1200s to the 1900s, spans 7 centuries. The museum's flawless collection of Italian and Dutch art, from the 15th and 16th centuries, however, is one of its strongest assets. View the works of famous artists including Van Gogh, Michelangelo, and Leonardo da Vinci.
Churchill War Rooms.
The Churchill War Rooms are among the most fascinating historical locations and provide a unique experience. Entering the halls where Winston Churchill oversaw the Second World War British government's defence of its territory is a spooky experience. The fact that everything took place in such close proximity is astounding. Churchill not only slept there, but also delivered a number of well-known speeches from the temporary radio studio. The exhibit does a good job of vividly recreating the early 1940s, and serves as a sobering reminder of how dangerously near the UK came to disaster.
Westminster Abbey.
Just to the west of the Palace of Westminster, lies a sizable church that is primarily Gothic in style, called Westminster Abbey. It is one of the most famous ecclesiastical structures in the UK, and serves as both the coronation and final resting place for English and later British monarchs. Henry III opted to replace an existing monastery in the Gothic style between 1245 and 1272, when the majority of the current structure was constructed. Later, the structure underwent a substantial expansion between 1503 and 1512, The chapel of Henry VII was built, and the two west front towers were constructed in 1745.
Houses of Parliament.
The Churchill War Rooms are one of London's main tourist attractions, and the Houses of Parliament are right behind them. The Parliament extends along the River Thames and is situated beneath the 318-foot, 97-metre, tall bell tower known as Big Ben. The British government has resided at the Houses of Parliament for many centuries. Prior to then, it served as Westminster Palace and was William the Conqueror's residence. Walking around Parliament Square, where there is a beautiful statue of Winston Churchill, alongside other notable political personalities like Nelson Mandela, is a terrific way to explore this destination.
St. Paul's Cathedral.
St. Paul's Cathedral is among London's most beautiful architectural creations. On top of a former Roman temple, sits the largest and most well-known church in the city. The Great Fire of 1666 completely destroyed the ancient church, but the reconstruction is remarkable to say the least. St. Paul's Cathedral belongs on the same level as other recognizable churches from throughout the world, because of its twin Baroque towers and imposing dome. The interior of the church is equally unforgettable as its breathtaking exterior. To witness the incredible interior details and the renowned Whispering Gallery, climb the stairs.
Trafalgar Square.
Trafalgar Square, which is close to Piccadilly Circus, was created as a result of Lord Horatio Nelson's military triumph over the Spanish and French at the start of the 19th century. Nelson's Column, a 183-foot, 56-metre, granite monument, is the focal point of the area. Ironically, the lovely fountains and bronze reliefs that the column overlooks were created from disused French guns. The National Gallery and St. Martin in the Fields are both close by and can be walked from Trafalgar Square.
Tower of London.
The majestic Tower of London is one structure in London that has served a variety of purposes over the years. Over the years, the World Heritage Site has served as a prison, a private zoo, and even a treasure vault. It currently gives guests engaging excursions. Having been constructed in the 11th century, the recognizable tower recounts the stories of British history. You will see astounding exhibits of royal armor, the Crown Jewels exhibition, and tales of horrifying executions that took place nearby as you tour the Tower of London. See a well-known beefeater to round out the journey.
London Eye.
The London Eye is a massive 443-foot, 135-metre, high observation wheel with 32 exterior glass-walled capsules that is located on the banks of the River Thames. It provides stunning views of London's downtown. Since the wheel rotates slowly enough to allow people to enter and exit the moving capsules at ground level, it rarely stops to pick up passengers. With over 3.5 million visitors each year, it is the most well-liked paid tourist attraction in the UK.
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace is well known all around the world as one of London's most recognisable landmarks. Since Queen Victoria ascended to the throne, the royal family has called the palace home. It was constructed in the 1800s. If the rooftop flag is flying while you're at Buckingham Palace, the Queen is likely inside. The changing of the guard is among the best sights in London. Crowds gather at Buckingham Palace at 11:30 every day of the year to see the parade. The competition is a fascinating demonstration of accuracy and focus.
British Museum.
One of the best collections of antiquities in the world may be found at the British Museum, which houses approximately 13 million objects. The items are from many periods of our ancient past, including early Europe, China, Assyria, and Babylonia. Ample time should be allotted for the vast museum, but where should you start? the bust of Ramses II, the Elgin marbles from the Parthenon, Egyptian mummies, and the Rosetta Stone, are just a few of the best permanent displays. A sizable bookshop featuring ancient history, together with mementos and replicas of your favorite treasures, are also available at the British Museum.
Tower Bridge.
London's Tower Bridge is perhaps the most identifiable landmark in a city full of them. The bridge, a suspension bridge that took 8 years to create, is located next to the Tower of London. Two eye-catching towers, on the 1994 built Tower Bridge, stand 213 feet, 65 meters, above the River Thames. Enroll in a tour to enjoy a fascinating Inside the Tower tour that ends in breathtaking cityscape views from the observation deck.
Big Ben.
One of the most well-known tourist destinations in London is the Big Ben Clock Tower, which is 150 years old. In reality, the 13-ton bell housed inside the clock tower is known as Big Ben, and Sir Benjamin Hall, who placed the original order for the bell, is credited with giving it its name. The 16-ton first bell, which had irreversibly shattered 2 years earlier, inspired the construction of the current Big Ben bell in 1858. The clock is now a well-liked attraction, and has been in numerous movies. For instance, a UFO strike in the movie Mars Attacks destroys the Big Ben.